Hello one, and welcome back to John Bill's Iconic Military Mores. Okay, so as you can see, I've got something completely different on the cutting mat today. So it's a kit that I've been looking at for around about the last 4 or 5 years. So I've been thinking about it, purchasing it, and then obviously there's always something else come up. But yeah, recently, this last week, I've actually picked it up. So today's video, I'm going to do a little bit of unboxing and just say why I believe this may be one of the best beginners model ships out there. So we'll go through the kit and we'll have a look, and then right at the end I'll give you my opinion where I think it's worth doing for a beginner, or maybe there's some better kits out there. Okay, so it's a Lady Nelson, it's a HMS cutter, and it's from 1803. Like I say, this is by Victory Models, but it is actually made in Italy by Amati. So I'm not sure if Victory Models is now like a part of Amati. So you might find this in 2 different kind of box arts. This one's got the green box art, but I have seen them out there with a red box art where it will say Amati rather than Victory Models. But I believe it's exactly the same kit, but I think maybe on the older versions that you used to get a lot more like plywood, and now with this newer one from Victory Models, all the ribs tend to be MDF. Okay, so we'll get this open. Okay, so there is an instruction manual. It doesn't seem very thick, so we'll come back to that in a little bit. Then we'll get quite a collection of scale drawings. So one of the good things about why I thought this would be a perfect beginner's tutorial is that's actual size. So you can imagine the deck, it will fit absolutely lovely on a cutting mat and make a great tutorial. That's my receipt. Okay, so we'll get these out. These are obviously some of the laser cut parts, and that's the stand. And then we get 2 boxes for all the little components. So we get obviously the rigging rope, get some bits and bobs, but we'll open them up and have a better look at them as well in a minute. We also get 3 bundles, a different kind of wood, or 4 bundles actually. So we get the dowels to make the mast, and we get all the different timbers to do all the planking and the decking. Okay, so this is a 1/64 scale, so some of the rigging blocks will actually be quite tiny for single blocks. These are only the 2mm. I actually do use these though on my 184 HMS Victory for the guns. I just think they look a lot more to scale than the massively oversized block. So I'll probably end up using some more of these on my USS Constitution as well, because I just think they look a lot more to scale. So we get them. So we got a couple of laser cut parts. So I'd say a lot of these newer kits now is quite good. We do get a lot of these pre-cut laser cut parts, where years ago you would have to kind of cut them and fettle them yourself. So it has made things a little bit easier. So we've got different sections of quite standard rigging cable. So yeah, there's sometimes you do get like a little sticker on, gives you the thickness of the rigging cable. Well, yeah, it's not on here, so yeah, that's a bit disappointing. I would have liked it to be just written on, saying there exactly what size it is, but yeah, I'm sure we can figure that out. So we get 2 little brass stanchions. That's quite nice. That's going to be fitted. So I'll get fitted onto this display base. Some little bits of brass wire, some standard little I think about 5 or 6mm pins, and there's just another different section of rigging blocks. You've got your double rigging blocks there, then you get some eyelets. And it's got some larger rigging blocks in there as well. Okay, so we get 6 guns on this Lady Nelson, and actually gun carriages. Oh, actually, I think it's 12. It's a 12 gunner. Yeah, we'll look at that a bit later on. But yeah, I think it's a 12 gunner. So actually, the gun carriages are all made up. So that's not too bad. It needs, I suppose, it were 1/64 scale. It'd be quite tricky to make them up. So yeah, so they're not too bad. Just going to build them up and paint them. I've got some of the little deck guns, so again, they'll be nice, all painted black and then weathered in. That'll look nice. There's a small section of eyelets. Same again, drop them in a little bit of brass black. So we've got the gratings. Same again, I actually used Amati's gratings all the time. I just think they're a lot finer. I ordered Amati gratings and I made all my gratings on my 184 and 172 HMS Victory. With these ones, I just think they're a little bit nice. We get a little section of the stern decoration, which says Lady Nelson. So you can tell how small this will be. Just with that's the stern plate. It's going to be a nice little model just to build. A couple of anchors and the cross sections to make them up. Then we've just got some couple of little pumps in that one. And same again, just some different rigging thread. And just another small section of a dowel. Okay, so I quite like that it's actually labelled where it says hull planking. That's quite good. So you literally know that you keep that to one side and just slide out a piece every now and again for the hull planking. So this is double hulled, so obviously you plank it once and then you that's where a lot of people will tend to make your mistakes and use your filler, and then you got your second planking where you can pretty much get it absolutely perfect. So I'm assuming that's with the colour of it, that'll be your second planking. Yeah, and this is your hull planking. It doesn't tell you what it is, but yeah, that's your first plank. So then this is your deck planking, and this is really thin stuff. This looks about 4mm by 1mm. So yeah, so let's say a 1/64 scale. Everything is a lot smaller, a bit more miniature, and then you get a selection of dowels, and then there's some other timbers as well that we're going to be using. So this is your base. It's obviously nicely decorated, but it's actually made out of MDF. I don't particularly like working with MDF that much, just because it's we don't have to cut this, so that's not so bad, but it's still maybe a little bit of sanding we have to do with that. So yeah, it seems to be quite common now that a lot of manufacturers are now moving towards MDF. It mainly just come down to a cost, but yeah, I'd rather it just being and like would have been a nice hardwood for the base. So we've got some nice sheets of laser cut parts. I do like nowadays that it does make things a little bit easier. These are going to be the capping that go around the top of the ship, the cap. And once upon a time, you would have had to hand cut all these parts out yourself. So, but now when we laser cut, you can literally all the parts that you need. I'll just slide them in. Nice pieces on there. The thickness, I'll just measure that. Thickness is about 1.5. So a little bit tricky, a little bit, quite easily to break. Good thing is it'll be easy to get out to the cut them out of the laser cut parts. But yeah, could be quite easily breakable. So then we get the deck, and then we get the two side pieces as well. So same again, about same thickness, I'd say. Yeah, 1.5. So this is what I was saying about how it's going to make a nice build tutorial. Literally, that will be the size of the ship, and then obviously we add in then we add the bowsprit, which is, I think it only brings it out to about 500. So yeah, it's going to be a nice little kit just to work directly on one cutting mat. And same again, it's quite common now, is you get the side rails, and they have all the gun ports pre-cut out, which is quite a modern take. In my USS Constitution I'm building, I'm actually going to be doing the old-fashioned way, where I'm going to actually cut the gun ports out myself. But yeah, you seem to get a 50-50 mix, where between kits use these like larger ply sections that you glue on and then plank over it, or you get the old-fashioned way where you just naturally build up the planks. But yeah, that'd be nice just to kind of sit that down. I think on the instructions, I think you glue it into the ship and then you plank it after. But you know, when it's John builds, I build things a little bit different, so I might actually plank it on the deck first before we actually bring it onto the frames. Okay, so this is the frames and the keel and the little parts that make up the stand. Same again, it's MDF, a little bit thicker. This is 3mm, so yeah, a little bit thicker, but yeah, 3mm is going to be okay. But I'm not sure just how much you're going to be dead accurate to get a pin in these to kind of, you've got to get it dead down the center of 1.5. If you're a little bit one way or the other, you can quite easily go off. So yeah, I would have preferred probably the skeleton part, the keel and the ribs to be a minimum of 5mm, just to make it a little bit easy just to take a pin. But I have not built it yet, so I don't know how it's going to react. But also, with being a small kit, there's nothing to say that I just clamp it. I just clamp the planks on either side rather than actually pin it. Yeah, so I'm going to make up the pin rails, the rudder, some more pin rails, the bow, and then that's the keel. So yeah, so that's 100% nearly all the parts that we get in this kit. And like I say, so when you lay it all out, it's not massive. I mean, this kit cost me £150, and I think that's, way kits are going nowadays where you're in a really good HMS Victory or like USS Constitution or the new HMS Surprise that's been released by Artisan Latina. They're all pushing £1,000 plus. So I think for a beginner kit, £150 is probably enough to pay. Okay, so we'll put this one side and we'll get some of the plans out. Also, we'll get some more bits as well, where we get some parts to make up the flags. So that's mainly just a parts list. So these are more of the instructions. So I'm going to start off by showing you how we put all the skeleton together. So on this build, it actually shows you to build a skeleton and then put the false keel on before you actually start planking. So yeah, I probably will just do that and then just protect it so it doesn't get rubbed and knocked while we do the planking construction. Yeah, so it's quite a simple construction, and that's why I think, like I say, I think this will make the perfect kit for a beginner. Yeah, so we can literally follow how we do the planking, which is so you can pretty much, I think this is a scale, so you can literally take the tapering that you need from the plank and follow it that way. So because it's following plans rather than like a step-by-step instructions, it's probably not as beginner friendly as I thought, because I think for somebody that's never built a wooden ship before, to have to work off of scale plans, it can seem a little bit daunting. It's like when you do like the part works, where you can kind of follow a whole booklet made up of individual step-by-step instructions, which are probably a little bit more beginner friendly. So I've got the instructions across. It's not many pages. I'm only actually really from page 3 to page 4 and a little bit of page 5. It's only 3 pages of instructions. So yeah, maybe this is not as beginner friendly as I first thought, just because it's for your first time sitting down and having to build a wooden ship. If you've only got like literally 2.5 pages of instructions without any kind of like instructional pictures, it can be quite difficult to follow. So, but the good thing is I'm going to be doing a build tutorial, so hopefully if somebody wants to get this kit and build along with me, you'll be able to follow my build instructions. I think sometimes as well, it's you kind of jump in at the deep end where you get these scale models and you get these scale plans. I think having to work from plans rather than booklets maybe take you from a beginner more to an advanced modeler very quick. So yeah, excellent plans, really good. I mean, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I'm used to working to scale plans. So yeah, there's nothing that even for a beginner literally wouldn't be able to follow off that deck plan. It shows you exactly how many planks you need, exactly the thickness when you start to taper them. So yeah, shows you exactly the position for all the guns, where the railings are going. Yeah, literally you cannot go wrong. You can put the parts. You can literally put parts onto the drawing. Let's just pop a part out so I can show you better. So like I said, this stuff's really flexible. Just popping that part out has made the laser cut thread split. So you just have to be careful. But like I was saying, you can bring these parts directly to the drawing and exactly to scale, so you can mark out anything that you need to do. Yeah, a bit later on if you wanted to, once you've kind of planked the deck, you could just cut this out and then actually lay it onto your deck and then mark for your dead eyes and all different kind of things like that. So that'd be quite easy. That's actually not a bad idea, actually. Just kind of cut that out. Once you finish with it, lay it on your deck, and then you can just drill for all your dead eyes. Yeah, so the plans are absolutely excellent. Okay, so I brought across the rigging plans, and this is literally why I think something like this HMS Nelson, which is a single mast cutter, is perfect for beginners, because that's literally one plan is your entire rigging plan. On the HMS Victory, I've got something like 25 rigging plans, all like this. Yeah, I think for a beginner, even something like the USS Constitution, I mean, if you look at it at the minute, it's really nice. We're just doing an all nice hull. You actually look at it, it's got 4 sails per mast. So yeah, there's a lot of rigging that's going to be we do on the USS Constitution. So yeah, I think it's something like this is absolutely perfect. You've got one mast, you've got one set of dead eyes to do, one set of rattlings to be done either side, the port and starboard. So it's like Victory, you have to do this 3 times on the port side, 3 times on the starboard side per mast. So then you imagine that it becomes where doing rat lines on something like a ship like Victory can take 2 years. So something like this, you do it once, you do the port side or starboard side, you kind of learn how to do it on the port side, then turn it over, and then you can kind of work and probably get it a little bit better on the starboard side. But then it's complete. You don't have to then think, oh, I've got to do this another 13, 14 times. You can move on, and you get a real sense of accomplishment because you can get a ship built on display with maybe in 3 or 4 months doing something like this, rather than having to maybe spend 5 or 6 years doing a large ship like the Constitution or HMS Victory. A little bit of an explanation how we taper the mast, but I'll be showing you that in tutorials. I've also got I've got about 300 videos on my channel now, so you can actually, I've already got videos where I'm tapering mast, so you can kind of check them out already, but I will, because it's going to be a complete tutorial, I will film them again. A little explanation how we tie the pins off. So yeah, these are excellent, like I say, these are excellent plans. I think this is actually my first build by Amati. I don't think I've ever actually built anything by Amati models. Not that I can 100% recall. I've used their parts, like I say, I've ordered spare parts like the gratings and blocks and things like that, but I've never actually 100% built an Amati kit. So 35 years building model building and never actually built an Amati kit. So yeah, really interesting to see how these kits turn out. And then we've just got another plan that shows you how to make and taper all your spars. So same again, that's it. There's literally only a few handful of connections that need to be made just to completely finish this ship. So like I said when I first started, I still believe that this is a perfect beginner's model ship, just because it fits nice onto a cutting mat. You can literally build it without having to have a big workshop like a lot of people have. You can literally get a 600mm cutting mat and build this, and then you can then find out whether you really enjoy the hobby, or whether you can find out actually I don't really enjoy this. Because you're saying, I mean, I've read an article somewhere that around about 90% of model ships never get completed. So yeah, I think it's just the space needed, or the lack of time, or just the thousands of hours that you have to invest into a ship like HMS Victory. That's why they never get complete. So yeah, I just think that people should maybe just start with something like Lady Nelson, get it built, get it on display. You're going to have such a massive sense of achievement, and then you move on to something else. So I'm not going to start this just yet. I've still got this this large scale diorama to finish, but there's probably only about 2 or 3 more videos to be worked on with this, and then this will be finished, and then I'll start doing the tutorials for the Lady Nelson. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. I've started to release quite a few more videos, trying to get the channel growing again. I've got some merchandise on the eBay shop if people would like to check that out, where I've got like a new logo where it literally says "Get your ship together." Because like I said to you, 90% of model ships never get completed, so I just thought the "Get your ship together" would be very fitting for my channel. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care, everyone.